Hello everyone and welcome to the School of Serenity. In this video, I'm going to discuss what theta brainwaves are and how you can use them to reprogram your subconscious mind. I'm going to talk about the different types of brainwaves, their relationship to conscious and subconscious mind, and how we can use certain types of brainwaves to change our limiting beliefs. Understanding brainwaves. When neurons communicate and connect with one another, they produce rhythmic electrical pulses or activities known as brainwaves. In other words, brainwaves are the patterns of oscillations generated by the combined electrical energy that neurons produce constantly. The pattern of brainwaves changes depending on one's level of consciousness and cognitive processing. For example, when someone feels fatigued or dreamy, slower brain waves are likely dominant at that time. And when the person is intensely focused on completing a complex task, faster brain waves are at work. Brain waves are measured by a test called electroencephalography, or EEG for short, which records the oscillations in the brain via small electrodes placed on the scalp. EEGs measure the frequency and amplitude of brain waves, and scientists have created categories for the different types of waves produced in the brain. There are 5 different types of brain waves ranging from low to high frequency. Delta brainwaves are the slowest brainwaves and are generated during dreamless sleep and relaxation. Healing and regeneration occur when the brain is in this state, and this is why deep sleep is very important. Theta brainwaves are strongly detectable during rapid eye movement sleep when we are dreaming vividly. They are associated with learning, creativity, and intuition. In theta, our senses withdraw from the external world and we mainly have an inner focus. Alpha brainwaves are faster and occur during quiet, thoughtful times. Alpha waves indicate that the brain is in a resting state. Overall, alpha brainwaves aid relaxation, positive thinking, and fast learning. Beta brainwaves are the most common pattern in the normal waking state. They are present whenever we are attentive, alert, and engaged in decision-making or mental activity. Finally, gamma brainwaves are the fastest and promote heightened perception, learning, and problem solving. The relationship between brainwaves, conscious and subconscious mind. Faster brainwaves, meaning gamma, beta, and alpha brainwaves, are associated with the conscious mind. These brain waves are present during our waking hours. In contrast, slower brain waves, meaning theta and delta brain waves, are associated with the subconscious mind. For example, children under 2 years old and sleeping adults experience the lowest brain wave levels. You could think of the brain of a baby as an empty slate functioning primarily from their subconscious mind. In this state, the thinking brain operates at very low frequency and the information from the outside world enters the brain unfiltered without critical thinking, analysis, or judgment. Children between 2 and 6 years old experience theta brainwave levels. When they function in the theta state, they tend to be in a trance-like state of mind, and they live in the realm of imagination and show very little rational thinking. This is why children tend to accept what you tell them, and this is why they can learn so quickly, because the subconscious mind is actively absorbing all the information. It is easier for kids to learn new languages and new skills because their conscious minds, in other words, higher brain waves, do not interfere with their learning capabilities. The importance of the theta state of mind. As adults, we can also enter the theta state of mind to retrain our subconscious mind. We know that our core beliefs are the root cause of what we feel and imagine is possible for us. Most of our beliefs are locked in place at a very young age before the reasoning capacity of the mind was developed. To change our life circumstances, we need to reprogram the subconscious mind to change our limiting beliefs. Entering into the theta state of mind, where brain waves are dominantly theta waves, is the best way to reprogram the subconscious mind. In the theta state, we access a bridge that connects our inner and outer worlds. In other words, in this state, we are able to access the subconscious mind and impart new beliefs and override the old ones. How do we enter the theta state? We enter the theta state naturally when we go to bed or wake up. This is because we move from faster alpha brain waves to slower delta brain waves when we fall asleep, and therefore we cross the theta region, which is in between. The reverse happens in the morning when we move from the delta brain waves to the alpha brain waves. We can also achieve the theta state by deep meditation, self-hypnosis, and sensory deprivation such as floating. Creative imagination is one example of the methods that leverage the theta state to reprogram the subconscious mind. This is how it works. Before falling asleep or just after waking up in the morning, imagine a scene that implies a new positive belief that you want to adopt. Feel what you would experience in real life if your beliefs were already true. Imagine yourself feeling, thinking, talking, and acting as if it was your belief in that moment. Repeat the visualization for at least 40 days to establish the positive beliefs. This approach works because when you are in the theta state of mind, your subconscious mind is going to be reprogrammed with the imagery that you visualize using your conscious mind. I hope that you enjoyed my video about the theta brainwaves and how we can use the theta brainwaves to reprogram our subconscious mind. If you have any comments, please add them in the comment section below and let me know what you think about this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like this video and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Stay serene, take care, and thank you.